What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today we're going to be talking about three things in this video. We're going to be talking about how Mavado is basically stealth nerfed, and they didn't really talk about it at all in the patch notes. We're going to be talking about how I wrongfully think the game is being perceived and the community is being perceived, and basically how good Mavado is after all these changes. And we're not going to be talking about that in any particular order. I'm just going to be talking about all of that in this video, in case you want to know the focal points of the video. So, first things first, NRS made a very, very, very dumb decision in nerfing Mavado. In case you don't know, they basically nerfed his damage on everything he does besides Nomad's Touch. And Nomad's Touch is just the defensive ambush type move that, is basically your armored move on the assist that nobody uses in the first place. But they decided to nerf everything else. So the sweep is nerfed, the bomb damage is nerfed. Shao Kahn doesn't get the dumb damage off command grabs anymore. Everything is nerfed. Like, all the damage on everything is nerfed on this assist. And I personally feel like it was a very dumb decision. And Twitter is in a frenzy about this. They are so upset. They're like, NRS, why would you do this when there is a big tournament coming up? Why would you nerf him? Nobody's complaining about this cameo. Why are you nerfing him? He already takes 100 health away. Why are you nerfing? People are furious on Twitter. They really are. And I don't blame them for being mad at all. See, one of the biggest problems with how the NRS community is perceived, and I can say this, as somebody who doesn't just play NRS games, back when I was making content with MK11. Like, MK11 destroyed all the faith I had in NRS. That game was so bad that I took my own advice in the games. And I really didn't have to take my own advice now I think about it, because I already played other fighting games before, just not a lot. After MK11, I branched out to a lot of other fighting games. Heck, even now, I got high level at all the big three and like the highest ranking Guilty Gear and everything. I understand how to play a lot of other fighting games, and I understand how their communities perceive the NRS community. And the NRS community is looked at as a bunch of crybabies who will never be happy no matter what. And I think it's very ignorant for all of those communities to view the NRS community that way. They do not know what the NRS community has to go through. The NRS community has to have the most dumb devs out of any fighting game community at all. They are so out of touch and don't care about their community no more ever since MK10 that it's not even funny. Like, it's really not how much they don't care. We didn't had so many problems with this game starting off with the lack of features, the blatant moves that just didn't work in the game, the desync issues. We didn't had a lot of problems at the beginning of the life cycle with the lackluster patches. We didn't have problems, and now I felt like the game, with the most recent patch, they were finally starting to take a step in the right direction. And, finally do something good for the game. It seems like every time they take, one step forward, they take two steps backwards. I think the actual last patch on the game was really good. The big patch that was just released, I feel like they were making a lot of steps in the right direction. And then they do something like this that just starts to worry me. Now, obviously, some people will say, well, it's not a big deal if you like the other patch so much and then they just stealth nerfed one thing. How is it a big deal? Me personally, I'm not saying, it's just like a huge deal, but it does mean something, because it still shows that they're not freaking listening. Nobody was complaining about the strength of Mavado. No one, not the casuals, not the pros, not the mid-level players, not the high-level. No one was complaining about Mavado. So for them to just nerf him, stealth nerf him too, they didn't even say it. Stealth nerf him out of nowhere, nerfing all his damage values, was honestly just a very dumb thing to do. And then, to the people that really like Mavado and the people that are tired of them just nerfing stuff, I feel for you. I really do. I'm personally not that irritated about it because, it's NRS. There's nothing they could do to really surprise me at this point. It's just, I feel so bad for the people that, really liked Mavado, because there was just no point of doing it. And the damage nerf is really noticeable. And they just shouldn't have done it. He already takes 100 health. He takes the most health off of any character without even being a top tier assist. Now, in my opinion, I don't think Mavado is a top tier assist. You know I made the first impressions video talking about how I thought it was a top tier assist, but obviously my mind has changed. That's why it's just a first impressions video. I think Mavado overall is a mid-tier, at best high mid-tier assist. Yes, he's really dumb on some people. Well, was dumb. You know, the damage value nerfs could have hit them a lot, but he was really dumb on Shao. He was dumb on Omni-Man. He was good on Liu Kang. But he didn't work with just everybody. And I feel like a lot of the really, really dumb cameos, you could just slap on anybody. Like, the best one, Chameleon. Chameleon makes everyone viable. She's that good. And she still doesn't even freaking take 100 health away from you. And me and tell me this mid-ish, high mid-tier assist where no one's complaining about it. No one's whining about it at all. Y'all decide to nerf it before one of the biggest patches of one of the biggest tournaments of the NRS scene, Combo Breaker, the home of Mortal Kombat, you decide to nerf something right before a huge patch. Like, why would you do that? It's just, people need to stop looking at the NRS community like they're just whining about everything and look at the reasons we are given. Like, usually it's not, this is something that's not too big, but it still just shows how much they do not listen to their community. Everyone's complaining about Chameleon right now. If you're going to stealth nerf somebody, it should have been freaking Chameleon. Why are they nerfing something no one is complaining about? And then, when everyone's on the frenzy right now, it gives the NRS community, this perception that, here they go whining again, because they are really in a frenzy about this on Twitter. Oh, here they go whining again. Here they go complaining about something again. No, it's just another thing that we didn't ask for. Another thing. So at the end of the day, yes, and I do agree that sometimes the NRS community complains a bit too much about some things in the game. Like, right now, the game is not in a very, very bad state. I don't really care what people think about the state of the game. If they want to say this game is bad, I just honestly disagree. I do not think this game is in a bad state. I feel like it's in a bland state right now, because I keep saying they need to overhaul the cameo system. And because to all you people that say that the cameo system is just bad and they need to get rid of it, and this is not real Mortal Kombat, shut up. Like, that's the only thing I have to say. Please just shut up and go play something else. This is a cameo based fighting game now, and even though they obviously did not know what they were doing, if you don't want to play a game with cameo assist, you have plenty other freaking options. This is the era of fighting games right now. Literally all the top 3 fighting games came out within this year. You have plenty of other things to go play where you don't got to worry about this freaking cameo system. So I swear people need to stop whining for it to be taken out. It is not getting taken out of the game. So please stop whining about it. It's not going anywhere. You either going to have to accept it or shut up and go play another MK game and move on. Enough's enough. All we need to be doing now is giving them feedback so they can improve the bland cameo system instead of wanting to get it taken out of the game, because it's not going to get taken out of the game. So people really need to stop whining about it. At the end of the day, the game's biggest problem is how bland the cameo system is. So for them to nerf Mavado when people were enjoying him and he wasn't even, OP or anything like that, like, he was very strong, but he's nowhere near good as Chameleon. So to just stealth nerf him makes no sense whatsoever. So this is another case of people going to think the NRS community is whining when NRS just made yet another dumb decision, which was very disappointing because I was honestly proud of them with the last patch. I felt like they were making a lot of steps in the right direction, and it finally felt that like they were starting to listen. But, one thing that people are saying is like, come on, y'all, enough nerfs, enough nerfs. We need more buffs, which we do. The buffs to nerfs ratio in Mortal Kombat 1 has been very, very bad. And yes, I do think we need more buffs now, but I still don't think, the game is in a state like it's just really bad. Like Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11 was a terrible game. Easily one of the worst games I've ever played. And it just broke what it meant to be it broke what fundamentally fighting games are meant to be about. Like, I've made so many videos talking about that game, so if you want to see how I felt about MK11, you can go watch those. But MK11 was actually a trash game. This game is not. If you want to say this game is mid or just, you know, like a 5 out of 10 or, you know, 7 out of 10 or something like that, okay, but we're not going to sit up here and act like this game is trash anymore. It's not a trash game. The game just needs love to the cameo system. And I'm going to keep saying that over and over and over and over and over and over again, because that's what the game needs, and NRS always waits too freaking long to do what the game needs to be done to be interesting. So, in my opinion, I feel like that's what they should be focused on right now. With the next patch, I think we should just get a bunch of cameo changes to make playing the cameos interesting. But that's just what I think. So that leads me to the last thing I want to say. If you can buff one cameo in this game, who would it be? Put it in the comment section below, because I'm actually very interested on what people have to say about that. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, to sum everything up, NRS made a very dumb decision with the Mavado nerf, the stealth nerf. The game is not as bad as people are acting like it is. The cameo system isn't going anywhere, so stop whining to have it removed. And the devs actually make really stupid decisions that give the community a reason to at least complain some. So the other fighting game communities need to become educated on that, instead of just acting like the NRS community is just full of crybabies that whine every chance they get, when they have devs that are literally not listening. And yes, the NRS community might go a little bit too far with the whining sometimes, but it's definitely warranted off of what NRS does with the game. Like I said, all the issues we had at the beginning, like, you couldn't even play the game at a point. It would desync you almost every other match. Like, you didn't have to really deal with that stuff in the other big three, in Street Fighter 6 and Tekken. Well, Tekken had the rage quitting thing. But like I said, at the end of the day, that's how I feel. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Nickopz out.